Here we have Cabernet Sauvignon.
Shae Frichette, co-owner of Frichette Winery in Benton City, says she and her husband Greg launched their business as a result of a coin flip. Literally, they were living in California and thinking of starting a family, but they couldn't decide between South Carolina, where Shae's parents were, or Washington, where Greg's family lived. So they tossed a coin and ended up in Washington.
So we packed our bags and moved here and looked for new careers. And I mean, who wouldn't want to be in agriculture and making wine? So we decided to start a whole new journey doing just that.
Shae says her family grows crops in South Carolina and Greg's family grows wheat, so it wasn't that much of a leap.
I knew how to drink wine.
That's crazy.
No, I did not know how to make wine.
They met Dick Boucher, a well-known grape grower in Washington State, who advised them to not just grow grapes, but to get into winemaking.
Agriculture was very comfortable for us and we were very interested in that. And so we thought growing wine grapes would be similar in a lot of ways, but making wine, no clue, no clue.
Boucher introduced the couple to winemaker Charlie Hops, who became their mentor. In 2011, they produced their first vintage of 650 cases.
We had the opportunity with our very first harvest to have one of the best.
Frichette Winery is one of 2 black-owned wineries in the state, out of about 1,000. While there aren't a lot of black-owned wineries around, Shae says that's changing, especially with the younger generation. She says she recently attended an international winemaker summit in California, and the organizers brought in students from black universities.
One of the students studying plant science said, I never saw myself in viticulture. I just never saw black people owning vineyards. And he said, this totally changed my perspective. He said, there are no black vineyard owners in my state, and I'm going to be the first.
Shae says there aren't many black people in wine because it just hasn't been accessible to them. But people in the industry want to see diversity.
You know, if I'm scrolling on Instagram and I'm looking at, and I follow a lot of wineries and vineyards, the picture of who's visiting those places, who are running those tasting rooms, who are running those vineyards, it looks very different than it did even 10 years ago. And so I think the landscape really is changing in a really positive way.
Frichette Winery produces about 3,000 cases of wine a year, mostly Bordeaux-style red wines, including Cabernet Sauvignon, Malbec, and Syrah. The winery makes one white and dabbles in rosés as well. Shae says that while the thought of expanding is exciting, the size of their production facility doesn't allow it. However, growing Frichette's sachet portfolio would interest her.
I do get excited about maybe expanding the sachet portfolio of wines. I think that's a wine that will be beautiful in the market, in more restaurants and stores. And so I do get excited about that.